Fat Loss 101. When your goal is to lose weight, there's 8 principles about fitness and nutrition you want to take into account, but you have to remember that a real transformation takes patience and consistency. The first thing is to make sure you set yourself some realistic goals. Looking to lose 3 to 5 kilos every week is going to do nothing but set yourself up for disappointment and destroy your metabolism. Unlike what the TV, magazine, and social media advertisements lead you to believe, if you're trying to lose 10 kilos in such a short time like 4 weeks, most of it is going to be water weight and muscle mass. Now, equally disheartening with this, you've now just primed your body to gain all that weight back and even more because eating such low amount of calories has dropped your metabolic rate really low. So being realistic, these fat loss pills and diets just do nothing but set you up for some massive weight regain once you stop. Choose a sustainable approach, which I'm going to outline how to do that without my next few points. Muscle is metabolism. Not only is muscle good for making you look sexy, lift heavy objects and retain a good posture, but also increases your metabolic rate. It also turns you into a calorie burning machine. This simply means that for every kilo of muscle mass you have on you, it burns more calories while sitting on your butt doing nothing, watching TV or lying around because it's active tissue and requires energy to keep it alive. Now also, having more muscle mass means every time you lift weights or do any kind of exercise, the calorie demand for that given exercise is increased because you are heavier with active muscle tissue that requires even more energy while working out. So it makes the job of fat loss even easier because your workouts burn more calories and you burn more calories while sitting on your butt doing nothing. So muscle is your friend. Number 3 is protein is vital for retaining muscle mass during a fat loss period. We just talked about how important muscle mass is to help you burn more calories and lose fat faster. So your goal should be maintaining as much muscle mass as possible while dieting. Now see, one of the huge detrimental side effects of all these rapid weight loss programs is they drop your calories and protein so low that you lose huge amounts of muscle mass during the diet, which drops your metabolic rate even lower. So the more aggressive the dietary approach is, the more likely you are to lose muscle mass, which is also hugely detrimental because it takes much longer to build muscle than it does to lose fat. So the best way you're wondering to retain as much muscle mass as possible is ensuring you're eating adequate amounts of protein. Aim for 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight to make sure all your hard-earned muscle is retained while dieting. Number 4 is to ensure that you continue strength training while dieting. One of the biggest mistakes everybody makes is when they attempt to diet, they stop lifting weights and they focus solely on cardio. Our bodies are an amazing adaptive machine and respond to the type of stress that you give it. Now, strength training is a stress that means you're constantly picking up and putting down heavy objects, so all that muscle mass is needed. So if you continue to do that while dieting, your body is going to hold on to as much muscle mass as possible because it's continuously being stressed doing heavy movements like squats or deadlifts. If you stop doing these lifts or you reduce the amount of volume or weight that you're using, you're now sending a signal to your body that that muscle mass isn't really needed all that much. So in a calorie deficit, it's more likely to take from your muscle mass if you're not lifting. And if you're doing tons and tons of cardio, you're now working slow twitch muscle fibers more cardiovascularly. You're not stimulating that muscle and you're going to lose even more of it by burning it off during that cardio. The effects of strength training and consuming adequate amount of protein is compounded together, so make sure you do both of those to keep as much muscle as possible. Number 5 is you want to make sure you split up your protein equally throughout the day, roughly 25 to 30 grams in each meal. Now, the reason you want to do this is because protein is the most satiating macronutrient. It means it's really hard to break down, so it's going to keep you fuller for longer. Not only that, but we've talked about how important muscle mass is during dieting. If you're getting a constant supply of amino acids and proteins spread throughout the day, you're going to ensure that even if your body does need to pull some of that protein, it's going to take it from your food sources rather than breaking down your muscles to get those amino acids. The 6th principle I want you to think about is that meal timing does play a small role in fat loss. Now, we all know that those rumors like eating carbs after 6 p.m. means they're miraculously going to turn into fat are simply just not true. Consuming foods at a specific time has no effect on your body composition. Just because you eat at a specific time doesn't mean those calories are miraculously going to turn into fat. The key is calories in versus calories out. You will only gain any weight if you eat too many calories. However, the timing of those meals is going to have an impact on your energy levels and your moods. So ensuring that you consume some food before your trainings to make sure that your energy levels are at highest so you can perform most optimally in the gym. Remember, to keep that muscle mass and burn as many calories as possible, you're going to need energy to perform. So making sure you consume some carbohydrates or foods based on your personal preference before your workouts so you get the most out of them. If you go into a workout completely drained of all energy, you're not going to burn as many calories, and then your total daily calorie consumption is going to be affected by that. Number 7 is cheating yourself leads to nowhere. Straying from the diet plan and telling everyone you're going well isn't going to help you. Likewise, consuming way too low amount of calories and losing weight loss quickly in the beginning is going to come back and bite you in the ass, because your metabolism is going to adjust to a very low level of food, and eventually you're going to get sick of eating such low amounts of food. Your metabolism will be low, you'll lose muscle mass, and you end up running into what's called metabolic damage, which simply means you have to start spending 5 or 6 hours trying to do cardio to lose any weight because your metabolism's so low and you'll be losing muscle mass. You want to stay well away from there. Remember, setting realistic goals and taking a sustainable approach is key to losing the fat and keeping it off. Now, number 8, this one is huge and everybody neglects it. It's set yourself up with a maintenance plan. Now, you're going to set off on your fat loss journey, but I bet you're not thinking about what happens when you finally reach the goal weight you're looking to do. This is a huge problem because everybody goes from what you're eating now, which is causing you to be uncomfortable with your body, to this really harsh diet that you are unable to sustain, but you feel amazing with the results you've achieved. So you need to set up a plan of somewhere in the midline. Your diet does not have to be as strict as it needed to be to lose the fat, but it cannot be the same as what got you to the point of where you're uncomfortable with your body. So you have to set yourself up with some kind of plan that's in the middle. If you're tracking your calories, it's really simple. You may end up at 1500 to lose all the weight, and you can set yourself up with an 1800 calorie plan to maintain weight. Now, not all of you are going to track calories. I understand that that's not for everyone, but you just have to understand that the meal plan or the eating protocol that you're using to lose that weight has to be similar to maintain that weight. It doesn't have to be as strict. You can add back in some of your favorite foods, increase your portions slightly, but it cannot be the same as where you began. This is just setting yourself up for success. A lot of people lose fat, but they end up gaining it all back because they have two choices: neglecting food and just eating whatever the hell they want, or a diet plan in which they lost weight. You need to learn to intuitively eat somewhere in the middle to maintain your weight in a healthy way and not live at the two ends of the spectrums. So my biggest tip is honestly making sure to set yourself up with a maintenance plan of what you're going to do once you lose all that weight. So guys, those are my tips for fat loss for you. If you want, there's a more in-depth article called Fat Loss 101. I'll link below so you can go through it all, and it's got a lot more details than what I went through today. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember that if you like and share it, it's a great help to me. Subscribe to my channel to see further videos that are going to help you out, and I'll catch you all in the next video.